Putang ina mo! Putang ina mo!
What's up YouTube, it's your boy Dashing Kevs bringing you our week 9 of the PML Draft League. I am the coach of the Duterte Durants, and this week we take on the Abomasnow Arsenals and Coach Wendell. Wendell's team is one of the best teams in the league. You can check out my power ranking video for more information about the team and other teams in our division. As you can see, he had a rough start at the league but found his groove by mid-season, getting wins and differentials of 4 for 3 games and the forfeit win over the Cleveland Cavaliers. I really wanted to see that game. It's a shame it didn't happen. Now, our team consists of Megasableye, Blaziken, Azumarill, Porygon 2, Quillfish, Dugtrio, Gligar, Volbeat, Stunfisk, Passimian. His team consists of Mega Altaria, Gyarados, Sylveon, Slurpuff, Sigilyph, Audino, Nidoqueen, Malamar, Typhlosion, Manectric. I can see Gyarados, Nidoqueen, Manectric, Typhlosion coming, as those are his often brings. He hasn't been bringing Mega Altaria, which is probably a draft mistake, stacking 3 fairies with only 1 poison resist. Sigilyph may come as my team is weak to Psychic, only having 1 Psychic immunity, and he has shown using Cosmic Power in the past, as that could really be annoying to deal with. I did not bring Mega Sableye this week. That may or may not be my first mistake of the game, I guess. The 6mon I'm hoping is not Slurpuff, as Sticky Webs and Belly variants are so hard to counter, especially if the team lacks priority moves. Looking at team preview, he did bring everything I thought he would. That just means we recognize the same win cons for his team. Volbeat is sure to play a crucial role in this game. Unfortunately, this is not the first time we played. We actually had a game on Wi-Fi but got disconnected, so we decided to keep the same teams, and we know a few of each other mons moves, like U-turn and Encore for Volbeat, Rocks on Gligar. I know he has Rocks on Nidoqueen, Volt Switch on Manectric. Sigilyph showed having the Flame Orb, which can probably mean he has the Psycho Shift move. I think he has the advantage knowing I have Encore on Volbeat, which is more important than potential Psycho Shift. But without further ado, let's check out the game, see how it went. Okay, so we lead off with Gligar as he leads off with Nidoqueen. Wanting to scout its set, I go for the Earthquake as he goes for Stealth Rocks. Now, the Earthquake damage reveals that he is somewhat bulky, and that is also shown by the black sludge it ran. So this is most likely not going to be that offensive, which means we should be able to live the Ice Beam if it goes for that. So we go for another Earthquake just to deal more damage to it, so it will be less effective in the future. As he goes for the Ice Beam, seeing that we comfortably live that, I decide to go for the Roost as he switches out to Gyarados, wanting to preserve the Nidoqueen. So we actually came out a bit better in that exchange because we do have Defog on the Gligar. I make the switch to Volbeat just in case the Gyarados wants to Dragon Dance, as he decides to set up a sub. Now, knowing that we already have Encore revealed on the first match we had, he already knows this and will probably switch out, not wanting to be encored into something. So that actually gives him offensive momentum as opposed to not knowing that information. So we decide to switch back to Gligar. He goes for the predicted Volt Switch and switches out back to Gyarados. Now at this point, the way it's been going, switching back to Gyarados, he wants to chip me down with the Stealth Rocks, but I decide to go for the Defog instead of the potential Earthquake that would have been the obvious play. So he reveals actually being the leftover variant. I'm not sure if I mentioned that earlier. So we switch back to Volbeat. He goes for the Waterfall waterfall here, gets some HP back with the lefties, and switches back to Manectric. Now at this point, after taking the waterfall, I thought about going for Roost at that point, but seeing as waterfall did more damage, I didn't want to risk going for that because it would potentially chip me down. I guess I could have done that. Probably got lucky in this case particular since he did decide to just switch out, but it is what it is. So I bring out Stunfisk. So the fact that Manectric didn't do anything there, it's starting to feel like it's a choice lock, if that's the case, or he just knows that he's gonna drop to a ground move. So predicting that, I go for the rocks myself as he brings out Sigilif, and Sigilif is burned. So that would show the potential Psycho Shift set, which he does bring out. I go for the discharge here, and we are lucky to get the paralysis there. In this case, I think he would have wanted to preserve the Sigilif because it would have more value, but since it got paralyzed, probably no value left for it because it's not going to be able to outspeed majority of my mons, so we just lets it drop. So that will be the first skill for Stunfisk. Brings out Nidoqueen just to set up the rocks. At this point, I didn't really thought about it too much as we were able to go for the Earth Power to knock out the Nidoqueen. That will be our second kill of the game. But when I thought about it, it actually means that Volbeat cannot come back to the game as we are only at 20%, which means I am forced to defog those away using our Gligar. But he makes the smart play of sending out Slurpuff. Expecting this to Belly Drum, I immediately go for Gligar, and he does go for the Belly Drum here, which is very threatening as he should be able to OHKO all of our mons at this point. But he makes a misplay here by going for the Drain Punch. That was actually a greedy play, going for the Drain Punch, because he may have thought that there's nothing to lose by doing this, but I am actually able to go for the defog here, and he notices that because of that play, we're able to send out Volbeat back and potentially bring this game back. So I actually go for the Rain Dance, which is something he did not expect. He goes for the return. I bring out my Quillfish. At this point here, as you can see, I am able to outspeed because we are the Swift Swim ability. So I actually just ran a few speed EVs on the Quillfish. So I was just crossing my fingers at this point that we're able to outspeed. If we do outspeed, we basically win the game because there's nothing much he can do at this point. And we are able to outspeed. The Poison Jab would potentially get the KO. It's actually a roll in probably his favor to live that, but not wanting to take the chance, we go for the Z move here. He sends out Gyarados, we go for a Poison Jab, we get the poison. Doesn't really matter in the long run. He goes for a sub. I don't know why. That play doesn't make sense to me. So we're able to break the sub with the Poison Jab. He goes for an EQ. We're able to live that due to some bulk investment, and Quillfish is able to get his second kill. At this point, I'm just spamming the liquidation, try to get as much damage as I can as possible. We go for the liquidation. Unfortunately, Manectric does live that even in the rain, but that's fine. We're able to send out Azu as we're able to get the next 2 kills with Aqua Jet. And as you can see, we do get those 2 kills for Azu, and that's gonna be GG. It's dashing. Great game with Wendell. That was very it was very close. The 3-0 doesn't really represent how close that would have been. I made the misplay of knocking out the Nidoqueen without positioning my Gligar into getting defog out, so that was a misplay on my end. But we're able to win because he made a misplay himself by going for the drain punch. It's hard to say that it was a misplay because we did not reveal that tech at that point. He knew that we had encore, but even if we encored him into drain punch, that would still be okay-ish because he would be able to deal massive damage to my team, probably knocking out even the Azu, possibly, maybe not, because it does resist it. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed the game, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.